Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Incoming here on the Psycho Sim Project on YouTube. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the new upcoming album, comeback album essentially, from Crazy Town. Now, some of you may remember Crazy Town from back in 2000 when they released the massive mega hit Butterfly and had a really big album with The Gift of Game. They then released a follow-up called Dark Horse, which didn't do as well but had a more rockier vibe to it, and in a way it was a better album. It was a little bit more focused. So here they are 13 years later with a new album that's coming out on the 28th of August. We're going to dive into this, see if it's any good, and see whether they continue the style of Dark Horse or went back to the style of The Gift of Game. Anyway, let's jump into this. The first song on the album is Coincide. Now this is continuing the darker kind of lyrical style and darker feel of their second album, Dark Horse. However, it's got a mid-pace sort of more laid-back groove to it, so they can rap over the top, and there's a lot of the singing that they did on Dark Horse as well. Quite a good opener, although a bit weird because it seems a little bit understated as an opening track on an album. However, a very, very good song indeed. So let's see how the rest of the album pans out. The second song on the album is Light the Way. Now this is more of a straightforward sort of hip-hop rap song with a nice, really, really dark beat to it, and it showcases the skills of both Brett Majeur and Shifty Shellshock on their rapping skills. Is probably what I meant. It is what I mean. I don't know. I said probably there, but yeah, very good little song. Very, very dark. Brings to mind a bit of more sort of 90s dark hip hop, kind of like some of the Wu-Tang Clan stuff. I know it's weird to hear a metalhead say something like that, but still, I don't mind some rap. Obviously I don't, otherwise I wouldn't be reviewing a Crazy Town album. But anyway, so far, yep, there is a lack of guitars, but when I interviewed the band last year, when they done a bit of a comeback tour and they played the UK, I did ask them how they class themselves, and they always said they class themselves as a dark hip hop band with mixing in some rock and metal, but they see themselves as primarily a hip-hop band. So we shall see how the rest of the album goes and whether they continue just being, this is going to end up being more of a straight hip-hop album, or if they're going to bring some guitars and that in. I imagine they will, because they do have a band to do that. So yeah, let's get on with the next track. The next track is Born to Raise Hell. Now this song features Jay Angel and DJ AM. DJ AM was a famous DJ, and he does a couple of scratches on this, and he was actually collaborating with Crazy Town back in 2009 to sort out the new album. So I'm sort of looking it up here at the same time, so I'm looking off camera. But unfortunately, as they were collaborating on the new record, he basically passed in 2009. Tragic passing there, but his scratches have been used to great effects on here, and it's a weird, really, because it's a shame that this album is being released now this late in the year, because honestly I think this could have been one of those sleeper hits of the summer. It's got a very anthemic and light, sort of slightly summery feel to it, but it's also one of it's the second song to be released from the album as a sort of preview to the album coming out. It got released 1 or 2 weeks ago. You can check it out on YouTube. But yeah, all in all, a very good song, very sort of laid back, not quite Butterfly laid back, it's still got a dark vibe to it, but it's got a very sort of course that will get stuck in your head due to Jay Angel's fantastic vocals coming in there as well. And if you just heard something buzz, that's because my phone's just go off. Let's ignore that. Anyway, all in all, a very good song. Can see it being somewhat of an anthem. I might be wrong on that, but there we go. I quite like this song. The first time I heard it, I weren't too sure, because I heard it when it was first released a couple of weeks ago. But in the context, the album works very well. So well done, guys. And let's see how the rest of the album goes. The next track on the album is called Ashes. Now this has Tom Dumont of No Doubt on the track, and this has a very sort of laid-back reggae vibe to it, along with the guys rapping and singing over the top with their superb vocals and rapping. Did a really great job. There's definitely it's kind of a laid-back song with a very dark edge to it, and almost a melancholy feel to some of it as well. But another great chorus, another great song. This is shaped up to be a really, really good album. Let's see how the rest of it goes, shall we? Up next is Megatron. Now this is a more upbeat song with some superb riffing on it and just a generally more bouncy beat, even some really heavy screaming as well for the name of the song, for the chorus. And again, the rapping is absolutely superb, along with some clean melodic singing. You can see why they released this as one of the sort of preview tracks from the album. I read it wrong earlier, this was the second song that was released as a preview track. Sorry, not the one that I said earlier. And then it was that track from earlier. But anyway, I can see this maybe being a single. Got very, very great, very fantastic. Nope, let's start that in English. A great upbeat sort of drum beat and just really quite good. And I have a feeling it's going to sound amazing live. So yes, another awesome song on here. Let's go on to the next track. Up next is Backpack. Now this features someone called Bishop Lamont. I'll be honest with you, I have absolutely no goddamn clue who that is. But anyway, now if you saw saw Crazy Town last year in the UK, you probably, I believe they played this song live from what I remember, back in June last year in fact, because I saw them at the Garage in London, and it was that awesome show. They're still fantastic live, but yeah, I played this song live, and this goes back to the really dark hip hop. This song especially has a very sort of dark sort of feel, very dark beats to it, kind of like what Busta Rhymes was doing in the late 90s, that kind of dark feeling hip hop. But again, another superb song, very, very nice melancholy feel to it, and will probably be appreciated more by sort of rock and metal and goth fans more than and new metal fans who got into Crazy Town back in the day, more than your more sort of mainstream pop fans. But anyway, another superb song. All in all, halfway through the album, all's very good. Not had one single song I've not liked, so let's see if they can continue that. Up next is the song A Little More Time. Now this features a fantastic singer called Coco LaRue. I've never heard of her before because obviously I listen to more rock and metal stuff than anything in the charts, but she has a fantastic voice and suits the so I'm trying not to sneeze, it's one putting strange faces. Has a fantastic voice on this, and she really suits the feel and atmosphere of the song. Guys again doing superb rapping at exactly the right pace and everything, and this has a fantastic lumbering bass as well, bass line to help sort of conjure up the again another sort of dark kind of atmosphere to this song. All in all, quite a dark album, possibly even darker than their second album, which was Dark Horse, and that was released back in 2002. But all in all, another fantastic song. So let's see how the rest of it goes, shall we? Track number 8 is The Keys. Now this features a rapper called Madchild who actually opens the song with a very high energy sort of approach to his rapping style. This whole song has very minimal beat behind it. It's another straight up hip hop song, but Madchild really helps raise the energy level, and then obviously you get Shifty Shellshock and Epic Mazura come in as well. I do apologise to Epic if I am actually pronouncing his last name wrong, but anyway, they come in really showing again their sort of lyrical prowess and how good they are actually rapping and keeping the flow to keep the song moving ahead and at a consistent pace. And then you get the chorus come in as well, understated chorus but fantastic chorus. Either way, Christ, can't even speak. Anyway, let's get on to the next song, which funny enough was the very first song to ever be released and let us know that Crazy Town were coming back. Up next is Lemonface, which was the very first single released from this album back in June last year, I believe, and it's something a little bit different, a more sort of kind of an updated version of the sound they originally had on their very first album, The Gift of Game. Very good song indeed. Some of you may have heard it on my radio show or seen it on YouTube. If not, go check it out. An absolutely superb song. I'll probably end up being a staple of their live sets from now on, and I saw them do it live. That sounds even better live. So yeah, Lemonface, absolute winner. Let's get on with the rest of the album. Up next is Baby You Don't Know. Now this has a very, very laid back and summery vibe. Again, this is the song, I don't know, I'll say it again then. It's a song that has a very sort of Red Hot Chili Peppers style laid back guitar line to it. Maybe I go for something like Butterfly on it again, I don't quite know. Although not quite as catchy as Butterfly, there's another absolutely superb song with a laid-back groove to it. Another straight hip-hop song, essentially, but all in all, a very good song indeed. And it could possibly become a bit of a favourite from the album. We shall see. Anyway, we've got a couple more songs to go. Let's see if they can keep this high quality up for the rest of it. Up next is My Place. Now this is another fantastic hip hop song on this, with fantastic rapping from both guys and a really nice sort of summary, sort of laid back beat to it. However, they lose points with me on this track, a little bit, on this track only, because for the chorus they use auto-tune. And I'll be honest, even though it doesn't happen in rock music that much, or metal, I have heard enough dance music and all that, and pop songs that come on when I'm out in the shops and all that, to know that I fucking hate auto-tune. I think everyone is now getting to the point where they're sick of hearing auto-tuned vocals, so maybe auto-tune was a bit of a bad idea, guys, but otherwise, you get a pass on this because it is otherwise a very good song. We've got 2 songs left, one of which is an alternate version of a previous song, but let's get to them. The last original track on the album is West Coast, and this is more of a sort of hip-hop love letter to where Crazy Town live, which I believe is LA. It's got a very unique sort of backing track to this. It's kind of like a weird sort of dark, it kind of comes across as a little bit Daft Punky, if you know what I mean, but think of Daft Punk doing a hip-hop beat, and then the superb rapping over the top, and then when you get to the chorus, it's very sort of early 2000s summery hip-hop kind of sound to it. Quite a nice little uplifting track this as well to end the album on. However, that is not the end of the album, for there's one more track, which, as I said earlier, is an alternate version of a previous track. So let's see how that sounds. Not too much difference in the alternate version. The guitars are a little bit less prominent on this, and they've made the beat a little bit sort of heavier and a bit more in the foreground of the song. Apart from that, not too much different to the original version, but both versions are good. The song was a good song anyway, so all in all, yeah. So what do I think of the album? Well, find out next. So 13 years since their last album, how does Brimstone Sluggers fare? Honestly, it's a very, very good album. It's gone back to more of the straight up hip hop style of their first album, The Gift of Game, but personally I really like The Gift of Game. I still listen to it every now and again now, and like it's been 14, 15 years since that album. I've always liked Crazy Town. I always felt they were a little bit underrated and unduly sort of get judged because of how big and how overplayed Butterfly got, which I'm sure is part of the reason the band kind of slightly hate that song themselves, or got sick of it themselves and sick of playing it. They kind of have to nowadays because, you know, it's some kind of unwritten law now that if you see Crazy Town, you have to hear Butterfly play. But anyway, bit more sort of straight hip-hop than I was expecting. Not as much guitars on this, which is weird because they do have obviously a full band set up for their live gigs, but all in all, a very good album. If you're a Crazy Town fan, I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, what I give this is 4 out of 5. Very good album, superb comeback album from them as well. Glad to see them come back, and they've picked the right time as well. I mean, I don't know what started it, but we're suddenly getting an influx of really good or really underrated new metal bands coming back. I mean, we've had Cold Chamber come back with a superb album. We've got Jack Off Jill, who were doing the odd gig here and there. Now we've got Crazy Town back. Head PE is starting to still going. We've got American Head Charge coming back with a new album soon. So it's, you know, these are all the bands that I grew up with essentially. So I'm loving this. Anyway, this has been the Psycho Sim Project, and if you missed my interview with Brett Majeur from last year, I will put a notation there. Now, if a notation hasn't appeared, it's because I've somehow buggered up or forgotten to do it. If it's not there, sorry, there, that's the one. The link will be in the notes below. Anyway, I've been Psycho Sim. This has been the Psycho Sim Project with Incoming. That was my review of Crazy Town and their new album Brimstone Sluggers. Go check it out, and I will see you next time.